Hello, Gemini, and welcome to Wild Magnolia Tarot. My name is Maddie, and this is your reading for August 23rd through the 29th. Quick disclaimer, this is a general reading and cannot possibly resonate with everyone, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If none of it resonates, please check out one of the videos for one of your other signs, or go check out one of the many other brilliant readers on this platform who may have something more attuned to your situation this week. This video is for entertainment purposes only. I am not a doctor, lawyer, physician, therapist, etc. I'm just a girl with a passion for the tarot, and anything that I say resembling advice is based solely on my own opinion, my own experiences, my own knowledge, my interpretations of the cards, and any other little bits and pieces that may occur to me intuitively throughout the reading. So that being said, we'll go ahead and we'll get started. We are starting out again this week with an archetype card. And you guys this week, you have the tear. Okay. So this is about crying. This is about releasing emotion. This can be about grief and sadness or disappointment. This is just about that flow of built up emotion, releasing it, giving it back to the universe to free yourself. Allowing yourself to grieve or mourn, whether it be a person, a relationship, a situation, or just the past in general. Okay, this is release. Releasing emotion. So keep that in mind as we move through the reading. That could be very important to you this week, okay? Getting yourself and finding a safe place where you can sit down and cry and let out your emotions and just free yourself from a heavy heart. Express your emotions. Very important as well. Okay, now I'm going to pull a card from the Moonology deck to see what what are my words? My lord. To figure out what kinds of cosmic influences or outside energies are affecting you and your situation this week. So what's going on for Gemini this week? We have the full moon in Virgo. You are good enough. That is the message. That is the cosmic energy surrounding you at this time. Very loving, compassionate, and encouraging. Unconditionally loving. Reminding you that you are good enough and that you are worthy. You're worthy of love. You're worthy of happiness. You're worthy of abundance. You are just worthy, period. You're worthy. So that's another thing to keep in mind as we move through the reading, and another thing to keep in mind pretty much forever for your whole life, because it's true. Okay. So now I'll go ahead and I'll move on to some oracle cards to give us an idea of what the main situation is that you're going to be dealing with this week. So what is the main situation for Gemini this week, please? So we have the urn. Okay, so this is this has to do with internment, okay, but I also see this as being putting something to rest, putting a situation to rest. Especially whatever the situation is here that is bringing in that energy of the tear. Okay, it's working through these emotions, processing grief and sorrow so that you can finally release it and give it back to the universe, or put it in, light it on fire and put it in an urn, close that bitch up and not have to worry about it anymore, or at least not have to carry it within you anymore. Another thing that the urn can represent is a memorial object, or something from the past, something very old. So this grief or this sorrow could actually be related to something that was lost a long time ago that was just never processed, okay? Or perhaps you're coming into a time right now of remembering someone or something that was lost, and it's bringing back a lot of feelings for you, and the universe is just encouraging you to allow those feelings to flow through you, to feel them, to express them, to release them. Allow yourself to cry. Even if this is something that happened a long time ago, it's not silly to still cry. It's okay to still feel it like it was yesterday. Okay, but make sure that you are remembering whatever it is with love and compassion, and celebrating it. celebrating what was lost in the past, celebrating what it was, what it meant for you, what it taught you. Okay, so let's pull another card now. See if we can clarify that further. So we have the Watch, which is all about time. So this almost does indicate to me, at least a little bit, that this could be something from the past. Or this could be an anniversary of some kind, an anniversary of an event that was very painful for you, the anniversary of somebody's death, the anniversary of something that was lost. Okay, and that's probably what's bringing up all of these memories for you again. Some kind of important timing or important date is relevant to this situation. Okay, let's see what else we have for Gemini. So we have the Cup, and the Cup is directly related to emotion and emotional connections, sharing our feelings with other people, making those deep personal connections with others, and also opening up our hearts to allow other people in to make those connections. So there could be an element for some of you where you're very guarded emotionally, potentially because of whatever this is here, whatever happened in the past. Oh, also, the Cup could, there's an analogy here with the Cup. The Cup is half full or half empty, so this could have to do with perspective or prosperity, abundance, and it could also indicate, because the Cup is a vessel, and the idea of the vessel is related to a lot of things. One of those things is pregnancy as well, or creative fertility of some kind, so keep that in mind. Okay, one more from this deck. So we have the Raven, okay? Change. Also another card that could indicate fertility as well. Migration, cycles, things of that nature. So I will say that we've got two cards here indicating fertility. And then we do also have the full moon in Virgo. Virgo is an earth sign, which the earth signs are the most fertile and abundant of all of them. So keep that in mind as well. So we have this very important date here. And this memorializing, potentially celebrating somebody's life who has been lost. And then we have here this Cup and the Raven, which is related to the Stork card in the traditional Lenormand. So this can indicate some kind of fertility, abundance, prosperity, changes that bring these things into your life. Or it could flat out indicate pregnancy for some. So we'll go ahead and we will clarify with the tarot now, see what we get. Let me clarify the urn, please. What is being remembered? What is being memorialized? So we have the Ten of Coins, which has everything to do with material abundance, as well as success, achievement, completion. This could indicate somebody who was very successful in their lifetime. It could indicate somebody who was like either the patriarch or the matriarch of the family. Someone who worked very hard and provided for their loved ones. Someone who lived a very good life. Or at the very least was very successful. Let's clarify the Watch now. So we have a Two of Blades, indicating a decision needs to be made, or being stuck at a standstill between two options and not being able to decide. Either way, a decision needs to be made here. Okay, and because this is coming out underneath the Watch, then actually there may be a deadline for you guys, for some of you, where you have to either make a yes or no decision, or you have to decide between two or more options. I want to get a few more cards on the table, but this could actually have to do with, now that I'm looking at these two cards, the Urn and the Ten of Pentacles together, this could almost indicate like a retirement party, which seems kind of lighthearted considering we have the tear, right? And that full moon in Virgo. But again, we'll get more cards on the table before I commit to that. But there's definitely an idea of celebrating somebody's hard work, celebrating somebody's career, somebody's, what is the word that I'm looking for? Good grief. It starts with an L. I know it starts with an L, right on the tip of my tongue. Gosh, I might remember it later. Okay, let's clarify the cup for now. We'll come back to that. Oh, legacy. Celebrating someone's legacy. Okay, anyway. Let's clarify the cup for Gemini, please. So we have the Three of Pentacles, the Three of Coins. This came out in the last reading as well. I think there's a lot of similar energies floating around. A lot of people at this point in time. But we have this Three of Coins coming out underneath the cup. So this is, to me, sharing prosperity, sharing goodwill, sharing happiness, sharing that emotional connection with other people. It makes me almost wonder if someone did pass away, if this isn't a situation that would be having to do with some kind of inheritance or fulfilling somebody's final wishes after they've passed as well. That could be something. Okay, let's clarify the Raven, and then we'll come back and we'll do more clarifying. Let's clarify the Raven, please. So we have the Three of Blades, which is the Three of Swords, all about heartbreak, grief, sorrow, sadness, disappointment, betrayal. Can also be indicated. It's very painful, difficult energy. This really ties into the tear. So for this to come out underneath the stork, this indicates that perhaps either one, you're moving, you're clearing this pain, you're releasing this trauma or this sadness, this grief, so that you can move on to a better place emotionally, mentally, even, if you want to move on geographically, because that is something that the Raven can indicate at times, is geographical relocation, moving. But and I'm only going to say this once because it's a very sensitive subject, and I do apologize if this is very triggering to somebody, but I want to say it because it's what I see and it's what I'm hearing in the cards, okay? Somebody may potentially have lost a child or a pregnancy, okay? And so there could be things coming up right now that are reminding you of that, which could be what's causing all this pain to come up, okay? So I just wanted to say that. It kept popping into my mind. I just wanted to spit it out before I move on. But it's just a feeling I have that may not resonate with anybody. It may only resonate with one person. So I'm just throwing it out there. But I'll move on from it now. So I'm going to switch tarot decks, and I'm going to clarify what I've clarified for more clarification, and then we'll switch back to the Oracle. So now I want to clarify the relationship between the Urn and the Ten of Pentacles. Clarify that relationship between the Urn and the Ten of Pentacles, please. Okay, so we have, again, the Ten of Earth, or the Ten of Pentacles. This card is associated with the constellations Circinus and Crux. And it says perfection, completion, and continuity. Okay, living on. Completing a cycle and then moving forward into the next cycle, the next realm, the next part of life, whatever it may be. So someone may definitely have passed away, either recently or in the past, and it's being brought up now. And I think that this may be Spirit's way of reminding you or letting you know that they had a good life and that it was their time. It was just their time to go. They completed what they came on this earth to do. So now we'll clarify the Watch and the Two of Blades. What is this decision? So we have the Four of Fire associated with the constellation Apis. It says performance, acting, and ego. So that's interesting. It almost kind of indicates that maybe you have not been yourself recently, or perhaps there's a choice that the choice that you need to make is a choice between your own ego and something else that may be more important. It does seem to be time sensitive. I'm going to clarify this. I'm going to clarify this with another card. Let me clarify that for fire, please. So we have the Eight of Air associated with the constellation Vulpecula. Entrapment. What does that say? Liability and deception. Interesting. Acting, performance, and ego, and entrapment, liability, deception. So this could indicate that you have to make a decision between telling the truth or telling a lie or misrepresenting the truth for one reason or another, not being totally honest. I don't know what that is about exactly. I'm going to ask when I pull out the oracle cards what that may be about. But seems like you have to decide, and you have to decide fast whether or not you're going to be honest about something or whether or not you're going to be open about something. Keep that in mind. We'll come back to that. Let's go ahead and clarify the Cup with the Three of Coins real quick. So we have the Four of Earth, Corona Australis, Dogma, Conviction, and Devotion is what it says on this card. I know that the Four of Earth is also about having strong financial foundations, strong material foundations to build upon, as well as being conservative with resources. I'm also going to clarify that one. What does this have to do with the Cup? So we have the Five of Earth, Triangulum Norma and Triangulum Austral. Again, sorry if I'm not saying those right. It says resources, craftsmanship, and labor. That's to clarify the Four of Earth. So this is about sharing some kind of reward or some kind of like the fruits of your labors with other people who were who took part in the work. That's what I'm getting from that. Okay, sharing in the reward, sharing in the abundance with other people who contributed to your success, or whoever contributed to this individual's success. So that kind of brings me back to an inheritance. Like if there's money to be split up and pushed around, then maybe for somebody it's, the decision they need to make is whether or not they're going to be honest and split that money equally between everyone who was involved and everyone who contributed to that abundance. It's very specific, so it can't be for everybody, but just an idea. So now I'm going to clarify the Raven with the Three of Blades. Get an idea for what's going on with this Raven and the Three of Blades. So we have the Hanged Man associated with the constellation Vela. Faith, guidance, and outside forces at work. Also letting go of any old ideas that no longer serve you and just living in the moment, observing the situation, gaining a new perspective. So real quick before I move on, I could really read this in two different ways. Going back to that inheritance idea. Okay, this could be you deciding whether or not you're going to share the money with people who helped earn it, or whether or not, like, maybe these people didn't help earn it, but they were included, or they are receiving recognition that perhaps they don't deserve, and your decision is whether or not you're going to reveal the truth about that, or something very similar to that. For some reason, I get that might be a situation for somebody. It's kind of nagging at me. Because we have a lot of high emotional energy. And then we have this Virgo card, you are good enough. And it makes me wonder if other people are taking the credit for somebody's work. Somebody's, hard earned reward, when perhaps they shouldn't, or when that's not really a fair evaluation of what happened. But whatever the case, this pain here, this is allowing you an opportunity to gain a new perspective on life and to move forward, to start a whole new cycle. So even if that's the case, do you want to dwell on bad feelings, or do you want to just get it wrapped up and taken care of so that you can move on with your life? Don't sell yourself short either, though. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move on to the Oracle cards, see if we can get any additional guidance on this situation for you guys, Gemini. It's a little confusing this week, I know. Can I get some clarity? Okay, yes, it said yes. So we have Earth. Home, healing, and protection. Interesting. I wonder what we're protecting. That's what my next card is going to be that I'm going to draw. I want to know what we're protecting. Either what are we healing or what are we protecting, or both. So we have the Flamingo. Romance and love. Protecting an emotional connection with somebody, probably a lover of some kind, someone that you're in a romantic relationship is, because it specifically says romance. That could also be the area in which a lot of healing is taking place as well. Perhaps for some of you, this loss was someone that you were in a relationship with, or someone that you may have been married to, a spouse, a partner. Okay, and that could cause a lot of damage. That can make it very hard to be able to love again in the future. So there's a lot of healing going on for you guys right now in the love department. Getting your heart back. Opening your heart again to allow more love to come into you. An abundance of love to come into you. Let's pull a card. Let's see, how can Gemini facilitate that healing? Okay, so we have adapt, practice flexibility, tolerance of others. I think that this also has to do, especially if you lost someone very close to you who played a very big role in your life, then part of this adaptation is adapting to a new way of life. Adapting to life without this person, which can be very difficult. It makes me wonder if perhaps some time has passed, enough time that you can allow yourself to try to be happy again, to try to move forward. It doesn't mean you're not sad anymore. It doesn't mean you don't miss this person, or that you don't, miss whatever was lost. It's just that you're finally to a point where it's okay for you to move on and to try to find happiness wherever you can. All right, let's see. I think I'm going to go ahead and pull a couple cards. One from the Shamanic Medicine deck, and then one from the Animal Dreaming. Let's see, do we have any advice for Gemini? Any additional advice or insight for Gemini this week, please? So we have Conch Shell. It says calling. So you are being called in a certain direction right now, probably by spirit or by your intuition. Listen for that call. Okay, and be open to it. It may not be what you would expect. Okay, but it does appear that you're being called to do something very important. Often when we experience a lot of hardship in our lives, when we experience a lot of pain and a lot of loss, it's this horrible way that we have to learn certain lessons about being human on this planet in order to, fulfill a certain purpose in our own lives. Let's see what we've got in the animal dreaming cards for Gemini. Okay, I believe this is pronounced couscous. I could be wrong. That sounds like a food. But it's a little lemur type creature. This is calmness. Okay, finding calmness, finding stillness within yourself, being able to listen to your intuition, being able to feel and observe yourself on the deepest subconscious levels. Also finding peace and being at one with nature, being at one with the universe. Just purely being in the moment. Let's see. So we have one more card I'm going to pull, and then we'll call it good for this reading this week, Gemini. Let's see, one last bit of advice. Any last words for Gemini this week, please? So we have a light. This card is about speaking your truth, expressing yourself out loud, expressing your emotions, and your deepest thoughts, your deepest feelings, sharing those with the universe, sharing those with the world, because there's something that some kind of wisdom you've gained, something you've learned, something that you have recognized that someone else could potentially learn from or benefit from. There may be something that you have to say that could help somebody else who's going through something similar to what you've been through, who's experiencing a lot of the same grief, sorrow, and pain, who can be helped by, whatever it is that you have to offer. As you move through this healing process, you take the healing that you gain as you gain it, and then you speak it out into the universe, and you give it to others as well, to share in the happiness, to share in the healing. Almost like you are a light, and you're shining your light in the darkest corners of, human emotion in order to help guide other people out of their own darkness, if that makes sense. So I think that, coming back to this calling here for a second, you're being called to speak your truth and to share your wisdom and to share your experiences and your pain, your feelings with others, because you have something that someone else needs to hear. Okay? So don't be afraid to express yourself. Don't be afraid to speak your truth. It's very important. Very important for you guys. Okay, so that's what I've got for you guys, Gemini, this week. I want to thank you for joining me. If you enjoyed this reading, if it resonated, please feel free to leave a like on the video and subscribe so that you can get notified when I upload more videos in the future, which is usually every single week. If you have any questions or suggestions or any kind of readings that you would like to see me do on my channel, please feel free to leave that in a comment as well, because I would love to see your suggestions and implement them in future videos. But yeah, that's what I've got for you guys this week. So thank you again for joining me. Take care, and I will see you guys next week.